pebbled shores, hearty food, crass humor, and endless rain, England has been leaving its impression on me from a young age. As a child, the impact of having dual citizenship was mostly superficial. I picked up an accent temporarily during visits, I preferred English sweets over American candy, and my clothes reflected European trends. As I grew up, I began integrating more of English culture into my day-to-day American life. As a tween who wanted independence but wasn't yet old enough to drive, I loved the green plan infrastructure and extensive public transportation system of the UK, and found the US system frustrating and inefficient in comparison. English humor had a huge effect on how I carried myself. I fell in love with the bold, brassy jokes told between friends and by street performers, as well as Laurel and Hardy, Mr. Bean, and children's comic books like The Dandy and the Beano. Having an edgy sense of humor gave me a sense of confidence, especially through middle school, where I used cheeky British insults to battle American slang. As I got older, I became inspired by British art, music, and literature and integrated them into my own creative process. I also began to notice significant differences between the struggles of my American and English family. Some of my family here have struggled to pay off medical debt, whereas across the pond, when my cousin was born with complications, the government paid for all of her medical care. When my US cousins were jobless, they moved back in with their parents, while my UK cousins collected welfare and were provided with cheap government housing. Witnessing the effects of socialized institutions molded my opinions on the role of government, and has shaped my support for universal healthcare and welfare reform, as well as my opinions on taxes, the death penalty, and poverty. In high school, I made a bunch of friends throughout my visits to the UK, who gave me a more in-depth perspective of teenage culture. Getting a closer experience with British customs gave me a much greater appreciation for the USA, as my childhood idealization of the UK began to break apart. My American lens allowed me to see parts of English culture that were widely accepted, but unhealthy. I noticed people joke openly about Muslim women and immigrants in casual and racist ways. I also began to feel the objectification and limitations involved in what is still in many ways a traditional culture. While men are outwardly more respectful and the over-masculine, aggressively persistent guys trying to avoid the dreaded friend zone are less common, sexism still persists. My grandparents' daily newspaper boasts softcore pornography with their page 3 girl displayed alongside world news, and the risque clothes available for young girls reveal a culture where objectification starts in prepubescence. Today, my dual citizenship can be miserable because I'm torn between two places that feel like home, but the resulting hybrid cultural lens is worth it. My lenses clash on a regular basis, but the conflict produces ever-changing insights and perspectives that let me see the world as a complicated but beautiful place.